We are live. Welcome to Rice TVX. Thank you for tuning in for this live stream episode of the Rice Crypto Show. This is a Bitcoin and crypto roundtable discussion. As per lately, I am joined by my homie, my brother from another mother, Mr. Satoshi Sean. And our guest today is Claudio from Kryptos Chain. I'm going to have links down below for both their channels, and I'm going to have links down below for everything that we screen share on today's conversation. We're going to be talking a little bit about some current events and crypto news, and then we're going to kind of get into a little bit of a discussion about Polkadot. Kryptos Chain is a big fan of Polkadot and ecosystem, and I wanted to kind of get a little bit more insight into what Polkadot's all about, and they have an upcoming conference going on next week, which we'll get into, called Polkadot Decoded. We're going to go ahead and get the show started.
BitSwap is the hottest new way to trade tokens. Crawling all the top decentralized exchanges, BitSwap will get you the very best price and value for your trades. BitSwap is changing the game. Try it now at bitswapdex.com.
And I always have to give a shout out to the sponsors of Rice TVX who help make it possible for me to bring this content to you. And got to shout out the newest sponsor of Rice TVX, BitSwapDex. Also, Monarch and Presearch and information is listed down below in the video description, so you can check out their websites and interviews that I've done. I haven't covered BitSwapDex as far as in an interview, but there is information for how you can utilize the decentralized exchange. But before we get into today's live stream, if this just happens to be your first time ever watching any of my videos, I do encourage you to check out and explore my channel. Make sure you're subscribed, smash that like button, and hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with my videos as they come out. Be sure you're following me on odyssey.com, where I have backups of all of my videos and post up extra content. This is where you know you can find me just in case something ever happens to my YouTube channel. I would also like to encourage everyone to check out my Patreon channel. I have lots of free videos there, but if you decide to become a patron, you would get early access to videos, exclusive content, and it's a way to support the channel directly. Check out Rice Radio. If you want some Rice on the go, we have select episodes from Rice TVX featured on Rice Radio, hosted on Anchor.fm, and available on every major podcasting platform. Make sure you're taking advantage of my partnership with Money Metals Exchange. Get your free half ounce of silver. All you need to do is go to moneymetals.com, be a first-time buyer, purchase $100 or more, and be sure you use the promo code RICE, R-I-C-E. You get that free half ounce of silver, and it's an additional way to support the channel as well. I will include links down below for everything I just mentioned, as well as everything we talk about on today's show. Man, I really do love technology and the fact that I can pre-record stuff and play all these advertisements and things, and it's just awesome. Thank you for technology. So today we are doing a Bitcoin and crypto roundtable discussion. As per lately, I'm joined by Satoshi Sean. Most of you should already know who this guy is. And our special guest is Claudio from the channel Kryptos Chains. Again, I'm going to have links down below for their channels. So if you're not subscribed to their channels and my channel, make sure you subscribe to all three of our channels. Again, links are going to be down below. Claudio, Kryptos Chain, introduce yourself to everybody for anybody who may not know who you are.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for having me, first of all. It's great to be here and to talk about Polkadot, of course, and other cryptocurrencies. So yeah, my name is Claudio. I've started my YouTube channel probably around April, I think it was, April 2018. But I didn't do daily videos or anything. It was just more of a test to try out and learn about projects and upload them and just kind of give my thoughts from my point of view, from my perspective as a beginner, as I was just learning, to help educate other people. Later on, I've started picking up a lot of stuff from the Neo ecosystem. I used to cover a lot of information on that. And slowly, as time went on, I realized that there are other cryptocurrencies out there that I could be talking about, because people weren't really interested in Neo during the bear market. As you could probably imagine, people weren't really interested in crypto in general during 2018 and 2019. So then Polkadot came. And with Polkadot, I've started picking up stuff early, started accumulating as much information as I could. And then I started putting out content on Polkadot to try to educate people, tutorials, reviews, anything that you could think of with regards to Polkadot. So that's pretty much what I'm doing at the moment on my channel. I do daily videos on crypto reviews, news, interviews sometimes. I don't do them that often, and also tutorials.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you sharing that. And I definitely would encourage people to make sure they're checking out your channel. And there's nothing wrong with, really, finding a blockchain or a project that you really gravitate towards, especially that has such a wide ecosystem and a lot of different use cases, and make that one of the focal points of what you do. You see that a lot of times with content creators, and then there are the ones that just shift with the trends, unfortunately, which seems to be a normal thing. Sean, what's going on with you, brother?
No, man, it's just funny you said that.
Which part?
I was watching this like roundtable thing, and Crow was on it, and they were all like, What are your new hot picks? What are you liking? What do you like? They went to him and he said, you know what, man? Probably shouldn't say this, but I've been in Cardano so long, I really don't look at anything else. I don't know. What's out there? Whatever.
That's kind of what he said on BitBoy's show, on one of those around the blockchains.
Yeah, it was pretty. I was like, what? He's like, I don't know, whatever's out there. Like, Cardano, man. It just, I don't know, struck me as funny. And then you're like, there's nothing wrong if you just like a blockchain. You can go ahead and just, grab it.
And then people are like, you're just pumping your own bags. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that people want to speculate and say, but
that is true. Yeah, you can pump
to a degree. Yeah, you could. Yeah. But is there usually,
and then talk about it, how you did it, and how much power you have? People do that.
Generally, though, people aren't doing this. I mean, I'm not going to say everyone, but for the most part, people believe in these projects that they're shilling. So it's not as if they're just shilling for the sake of trying to try to be a winner and make out of a bunch of losers. Because obviously, with every positive trade, if you have a successful trade, on the other side of that is obviously somebody who had an unsuccessful
trade. I love your fresh-faced optimism. Yeah, your young, happy outlook on life. Well, I'm Satoshi Sean. I started my YouTube channel back in the 1920s.
Yeah, back before YouTube was a thing.
I was covering, a lot of, mainly the stock market.
You were using the Tesla technology,
all that. I was heavy on the political stuff with Prohibition. No, I started a couple of years ago, kind of because of what he said, that it was. I was looking at all these different projects that people weren't going over. Nobody was talking about it. Everyone was talking about, Neo was a big one, or, it was either just shilling.
Yeah, the people got on the Neo and the Tron train.
Yeah, Tron. Oh, God, I forgot about Tron Verge. But it was just, and the quality was, this is a good-looking website. Look at this. Look at these colors, man. These colors really, they pop. They pop, man. I'm going to put in $10,000 to this because it's, that's fuchsia. They've used fuchsia on this website. Come on. How can you not put money in this thing? So there was not much. And I was more out of anger. And like my kids, they have a video game YouTube channel, and they're like ridiculously professional. Like they both got out of college, went to worked like full-time, extra hours, just saved up every penny, bought the best equipment, everything. Christmas, birthdays, what do you want? I want this lighting right here. I want this, And then I literally just said, what is a free screen capture software? And I made a video. And that was it, man. I was off and running. Didn't even have a webcam, man. I just used free, screen capture. And I was like, this is a project called Space Chain. They've already put 2 satellites in orbit. They've got an operating system and a flight system all on the blockchain. And it's designed by someone who might be Satoshi Nakamoto. No one ever fucking talked about this. No one ever mentioned it. No one knew about it. And it's like out there. There's no videos on it. There's nothing. That was like the whole thing. I was like, is this a conspiracy?
No, he's supposed to be speaking in Miami at Bitcoin 2021.
Garzik?
Yeah, Jeff Garzik speaking there. So
speaking, what's up with I thought we weren't talking about Bitcoin 2021.
I didn't say
the
that.
Antichrist.
Who said that? I never said that. I'm trying to attend it.
Trying to go to Bitcoin 2021 $5,000 ticket.
Well, I'm trying to get a media pass. I'm not buying a ticket.
Okay.
And Ken's not going, and he's got a media pass.
Ken is the one who's like, it's the Antichrist.
Well, yeah. So Ken's got a pass, and he's not going to go. So at the worst case scenario, I'll tell him, look, Ken's not coming. You guys didn't give me the pass, so just give me Ken's pass.
Yeah.
But either way, I mean, I wanted to attend because there's some people I want to try to interact with. So, I mean, I don't give I'm not a maximalist, but I'm not against Bitcoin either. But I'm going to attend Ken and Company's Shitcoin 2021, which I guess before we get into the news.
What Blood said last time, just is like, if you're still a maximalist in 2021, it's
Look at this, Claudio.
Yeah.
Can you see that? It's pretty funny.
Yeah, they're moving it around, man.
Well, it does it on its own every time you move the mouse.
Yeah, I know, but you have a lot of fun.
Yeah, there was a website like that where you could type in any coin. I can't remember the name exactly, but you could type in any coin name and it would tell you.
It's like myshitcoin.com.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Well, because this is like technically Bitcoin 2021 is a Bitcoin thing, and it's inclusive to Bitcoin. Ken wanted, and other people wanted to be able to have something for all the other altcoins. And instead of calling it Altcoin 2021, he decided to use the poop emoji unicorn. Or no, it's not. It's actually isn't it supposed to be
chocolate ice cream?
Yeah, chocolate. It's rainbow ice cream unicorn emoji. But yeah, I thought that was pretty ingenious. Of trying to capitalize on the fact that you're going to have a bunch of crypto people out there, because not everybody who goes to Miami is going to be a maximalist. And then, dude, I mean, I need a vacation, so I'm taking like 3 days either before or after and doing me. So it's like getting 2 birds stoned at once. It's like what I like to call it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Follow my channel. It's Satoshi Sean.
Yeah, check it out.
You're going to be a speaker there, Rice.
What's that?
You're going to be a speaker in Miami.
I may possibly speak at Ken's event, but definitely not at Bitcoin 2021. I was not invited. Okay. But I'm trying to go more of just covering what's happening as far as the conference itself, both conferences, and just kind of giving a little more information. So the way we do this, Claudia, is really chill. It's not like any sort of structure. I'm not going to if we need to interrupt each other, sometimes we do that. We try our best to be cool about it, but sometimes it happens. But what I want to do is, before we get into the Polkadot stuff, I've got roughly about another hour that I can do. And I know it's late on your end. So I was just going to kind of give a little semi-structure for how I want to cover this stuff. But so we have the Janet Yellen talking about Bitcoin usage and Elon Musk. Elon Musk losing money since Saturday Night Live, and then Michael Saylor firing back when it comes to the energy consumption. And then I've got the energy consumption index. So I want to kind of lump those together. And then we have the issue with what's really funny is how Jackson Palmer, one of the co-creators of Doge, was just basically saying that this whole thing is cringe with Elon Musk. And then bringing up the fact of Elon talking about working with developers of Dogecoin to help with its efficiency. And then something I wanted to add in before we get into the Polkadot was just quickly about the Department of Justice, IRS, and Binance, because it's all very relevant to where the price action is as far as the price going down and such.
Yeah.
So since you're our guest, what are your thoughts on this whole idea of like the energy consumption, what Elon Musk has said, Tesla not accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment anymore, and this whole hippie green New Deal kind of thing coming into play? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, hippies and Janet Yellen, they always go well together.
Don't they? Well, we are in a bizarre time period, man. It's like we surpassed Twilight Zone. We're something beyond that, like in the Black Mirror.
Yeah, I was talking to my friend about this today, actually, and we thought there are going to be three different options. I think the first option is Elon has he actually wants to get more Bitcoin, so he's doing this on purpose in order to drive the price down. Or two, it could be that just because he has so much money, maybe he doesn't actually need it, so he's just trolling people, and he wants to test his own powers. Let's see how powerful am I really by just doing a tweet. Like I'd be posting a tweet, and I could drive the price down 20-30%, right? And he did that. Like he dropped Bitcoin. I don't think he dropped it that much, but it had quite a huge drop. Like, he went from like 54K to
46
to 46. So, yeah.
355 billion total market cap loss.
Exactly. And or it could be that, or the other option is
right here.
Yeah, I just don't think that, to be honest, that he hasn't researched about Bitcoin that is not energy friendly before he invested or before Tesla invested. I think it's all a game to him, and he's just trolling on Twitter like he's been trolling with Dogecoin, and the price has been doing well, right? And I think that he feels guilty in a way, just because he did say that I did buy a small bag of Doge. If you remember that tweet, he posted that like back in the day. I think it was around January. And I think that was more to reassure people that he's not just trolling, but he kind of likes Doge. So he's just going to buy it anyway because he can. I mean, he's a billionaire, right? And I just don't see why he finds a problem with Bitcoin, considering that it's not eco-friendly, but he has no problems with Dogecoin, which is also proof of work. It doesn't like the two dots don't connect to me. So what do you guys think about that? Do you not find that a bit odd that he accepts Doge but not Bitcoin?
Hold on. Let me change
it's only Doge for right now, though. It's Doge for SpaceX. He's talking about accepting it for Tesla, but technically Tesla doesn't accept anymore.
I had to change hats because you blew my mind. All right, Kryptos,
he said some smart stuff, didn't he?
He has hit everything that I want to hit completely. First off, it's all a scam. It's all bullshit. I can list the reasons. If you look at it critically, it's just like he said. There's like four things that I thought of. Everything he said. Number one, you can call Elon Musk a weirdo, and that's a lot of Saturday Night Live didn't want to work with him. They were frightened of him. They were frightened of him, and they wanted to go to their safe spaces because they thought he was a weirdo. It's so goofy. But anyway, but you can't call him an idiot. You can't call him stupid.
No.
You don't think he knew what Bitcoin's complete, electric consumption was? You don't think he knew all of this stuff before he started talking about it? One, he wants to pump his own money. Two, he lost everyone. Wall Street, what's the one article I was looking at?
He lost $20 billion.
$20 billion. Now he's only worth $150 billion. Who gives a shit?
145.
You know what? But what's $1 billion? Which one is 1,000 million?
It's enough.
It gets to the point where it doesn't matter.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just it's almost like spare change, but it's like a lot of spare change, like a lot of quarters. Like, oh, I lost all my change, but it was mostly quarters. No, man, that's literally what's happened to him. You know what I mean? It's like he could be having fun, or he could be just pumping it and buying more Bitcoin. I agree with what Ken said, that these big corporations and smart people, they don't even need to go build their own blockchain. They just need to go to one. Hey, Doge is perfect.
Yeah, just take over one.
Bitcoin has a giant community. It's already been established for years. It's all set and done. Let me just buy a shitload of it and take it over. It's cheap as hell. But then the joke was, and all the memes, I saw one today. It was hilarious. There's a dude laying on a psychiatrist's couch. The psychiatrist there writing down, and it's like, and these Doge developers that you're talking about, are they in the room with us now? Because it's a joke, right? But then Elon comes out and he's going to start working with the Doge developers. He's starting his own team. He's taking it over, man.
Yeah, because obviously you don't have Jackson Palmer or the other guy involved in any capacity, which, I mean, there hasn't been any real development, and doing it with Doge still doesn't make any sense, because if you look at the mining, it piggybacks off of Litecoin. I mean, there's a lot of really interesting things. Now, one thing that you guys didn't mention, which I think kind of points a little bit towards manipulation as well, is the fact that this wasn't even done until after the actual trading desk themselves closed. So this sell-off wasn't like your Wall Street, your finance 1.0 type people. It was retail everyday investors that got shaken out. And knowing that we have a limited supply because it's a deflationary cryptocurrency, the supply and demand should come into factor. And I mean, obviously, I think trading exchanges are rehypothecating and things to that effect. So it's something to consider. And then, you know, when we talk about the energy stuff, I mean, not only is Dogecoin not energy efficient, and there's so many other energy efficient coins, and that would probably be something interesting to talk about in the future. But if I'm not mistaken, and I don't have the particular retweets, but Jack Dorsey has been on a mission talking about improving this very subject that we're talking about, energy consumption. There's been a lot of talk about him building mining facilities in Africa and things to that effect, and using renewable, reusable energy sources and possibly new technologies. And I know, pretty sure that that Elon Musk was retweeting these tweets. So it's, to me, with the fact of the timing, everything else coming out all at the same time, everybody attacking things, it just seems very much like
organized.
Yeah, and then it's like a way to kind of keep the price temporarily, and I mean very temporarily, down for all their other buddies who missed the boat.
Can you
to
put
get
up
in? Like, here's your last chance to get on the boat. Here we go. Let's do it. And that's kind of what I feel like.
Comment, dude.
Huh?
Can you put up Green Nation's comment there?
Yes. Awesome. Greentations.
Greentations.
Green Nations sound awesome though. Yeah,
Green Nations. Well, it's about, we're talking about green stuff, but this is I want to keep going with what I was saying. That's another option. Is this how, like I said, he knew everything about it. Janet Yellen and him should not be on the same page. You like covering my face up, don't you? You always do that.
I purposely moved our special guest up to the top, so
I know.
we weren't covering his face up. Yeah, who wants to see your face? Let's do a poll.
Your mom.
My mom's dead, and that's pretty damn sick.
You still want to. Everybody wants to see my face, right?
I love you.
I love you too. But if you take a step back as a critical thinker, or as people call them, conspiracy theorists, and look at all this, can I share? Can I share?
Yeah, I had to stop sharing for you to share, but you can do that.
Yeah, here we go. I'm going to share the same stuff basically, but okay, where are we at? Here we go. So if you look at this chart that you were showing, first, you know, Elon Musk loses, blah, 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 blah. It all seems at the same time, with the different players involved, acting like, oh, I'm so surprised Bitcoin is energy intensive. Also, the places on Earth with technically renewable energy, like dams and things that use water supplies, where it's not coal, basically, not coal, not oil, like Washington State, places in Canada, those places have been turning away Bitcoin miners. The bulk of electric usage is in China. Also, Elon Musk, Mr. I care so much about the environment, we got to go green, who owns an electric car company which, you know, charges from all these fossil fuel burning electric plants and produces so much of his shit in China, you know, that comes over here. It's all stupid.
Yeah.
But then the stupidest thing is this. And if you look at how it is, what was it? Bitcoin uses more than the country, than the country of Sweden. Right? Is that what it said?
Something to that. I've heard that, and then I've heard like the state of New York. But I mean, even regardless of that, there's that big, huge Texas mining facility they're talking about building, which is supposed to be energy efficient. And then coincidentally, Tesla moves their headquarters and operations to Texas.
Well, let's take a look at this. Well, that was also for taxes because California is terrible. But what's the lowest country? The country with the lowest carbon footprint? It's fucking Sweden.
Yeah, okay.
It's more than anything else. Look at where Asia is. When I added Asia to this, it completely changed it. When I added Europe and the United States, completely changed it. The tiny country of Taiwan. If you were to say, like you just said, the state of New York, when people compare it, if they say a state, if people compare it to the European countries, I don't really give a shit. All of Europe will fit inside of Texas, one state. So to compare it and say something is huge because it's like a country in Europe is ridiculous to me. Doesn't matter. And Sweden, they're the lowest. So it's engineered to look terrible, to sound terrible, when in reality, it's if they said it uses the same amount of electricity, it has the same carbon footprint as Haiti, you'd be like, hey, it's not bad, Haiti. Yeah, okay.
What do you think about this, Claudio, though, when it comes to like the energy consumption using more than nations and using that argument?
Yeah, I'm not a professional in this, but I could see why Sweden is on that list. I mean, they are very well developed in Europe. I mean, all the Scandinavian countries, Sweden, Norway, and Finland are very well developed in Europe, and they've got a really good reputation for green energy and futuristic thinking. And I think a lot of countries need to try and look up to them, to be honest. And some of them do, but some of them don't, right? Some of them just like to remain in that communist mentality, right, so to speak.
Yeah.
So
now,
it's all because of politics. It goes back to politics, which I don't really want to touch on because I don't know how it's going to affect your channel.
You're total. No, you are total. That's what I'm saying, dude. You're totally good. If you want to go there, you're more than welcome to go there.
Yeah, I think it's just corruption.
This
corruption
is not your standard crypto channel.
Corruption in the politics in general is causing this problem, because if you look at countries like Sweden or Scandinavian countries, even in Ireland, there aren't that many politicians, right? So if you look at something like Spain or Portugal or other countries like Eastern European countries, there are like different parties trying to participate for different, trying to change different things, giving you fake promises, and basically scooping up the money from the country, from the resources, and because of that, they're staying in poverty, right? They're not doing anything for that country to get them out of their poverty. So it's kind of annoying, but it is what it is, and I can see why Sweden is doing really well from that point of view. It's just much less corruption.
I mean, what you just said added a lot of great value to the conversation. I mean, sometimes hearing an answer from somebody who's technically proficient in this is not going to give any normal individual watching this any good insight. So just opinions is really all we can offer is our thoughts and our opinions. And I definitely valued that. So thanks for sharing, dude.
No problem.
Do you have anything you want to add to this, Sean, or you want to move on to the
I think it's like Kryptos said, it's the brain of Elon Musk, so you couldn't really pick a more eclectic or weird brain to try to pick apart. But it's one of those things. Either he's just having fun and he's just messing around. Either he cares about making money and he's totally manipulating shit. Which, I mean, did he do that with his stock? Did he get pissed off because he wanted to play God with the stock and he knew that he could go to jail? So he found this new toy with crypto that he could have fun with the markets all he wants and nobody can do stuff to him.
Not yet.
Fines and arrest him.
Not yet, but I mean, it's going to be interesting. I mean, I've made this argument: the SEC cannot win against one of the wealthiest men in the world. Period. It's just you can buy all those individuals off.
Even if you do win, even if they do win, they really don't win. Like when Facebook had the largest fine ever because of what they did, it was literally like 3 weeks worth of income. It wasn't a full month worth of income that they got fined. The largest fine in history that they got fined was like $1 billion or something. It was almost as much as they make in a month. So it's like the average person getting a $2,000 fine, like going out and committing a massive felony. And then you're guilty if you have a fine of $1,900. And you're like, okay, I lost. You know, it doesn't.
Right. Well, I mean, look at someone like O.J. Simpson. I mean, it's all about really money. A lot of times it comes down to money. You know, and it's just it's a sad situation. And I mean, there's so many different things that consume energy, and if you look at all of the energy the financial sector is doing with the combination of all their employees, they're driving to and from work, the buildings, all the different things they're doing, they're not energy efficient either. So last thing I'll just say is, should Tesla stop accepting fiat money then? Are they going to start just giving away their vehicles for free? You know, so it's just, there's definitely something more to it. And then this Dogecoin stuff is, I mean, Jackson Palmer, for him to come out and be against this, he's one of the creators. It's his baby. So he could totally get behind this for his own bag's sake and get involved and get in contact with Elon and be like, let's work together. I'm one of the creators, because if he's getting with developers, it makes sense. But you have one of the co-creators sitting here saying he's a self-absorbed grifter.
When Ken said that, I didn't really take it to heart that much. But then Elon Musk's exact words, where we're doing this, we at Dogecoin, he has completely taken it over. He is talking like an owner, and people are stupid. A person is smart. I remember watching that on Men in Black, and it has impacted me so much that I get it now. A person is smart. A person can rationalize, but people are stupid and panicky, and they're sheep. So if you
they're emotion driven,
you say something enough times, people will just accept it as the way it is. And I think if people start talking about it and people will think, especially people who have known nothing about crypto, in a month from now and 2 months from now, literally Elon Musk will have created Doge. You know, there could be some kind of story. They created it back, you know, a long time ago in 2008 with his buddy Satoshi something or some Chinese name. I don't know, but him and this guy, they did this, and he went off and created Doge. And so the guy created Bitcoin, and then he just forgot about it, went into doing Tesla stuff. That could literally be the true urban myth in like a month. Yeah. You know, if it's talked about and if it's put out there.
Sorry, what do you guys think about his website X? Because like if you go to his website X, it just shows you why.
It's X.com, right?
Yeah. It's basically something that he was planning to work on at some point. It's to do with now it's showing an X.
I think it was supposed to originally be a now it's showing an X. I think it was originally supposed to be the name for what became PayPal.
Yeah.
And then it was just he didn't get to use it, and he just kept the name. Yeah. So I'm not a fan of Tyler Swope, but I'm a fan of the Chico Crypto channel. The Chico Crypto is more than just Tyler, the host. There's a couple researchers and there's an editor, but the researchers.
You have my vote, sir, for whatever political office you're running for right now.
They do excellent. They do excellent research, and I really had to commend them. I mean, they've even come up with some really interesting theories with the idea that Elon could have been involved with or been Satoshi Nakamoto, which is really interesting, and a lot of it is very much parallel. So it's interesting. It's like, is he using Doge as a test for what he's getting ready to do with Bitcoin? Is he purposely keeping Bitcoin down too, so that the everyday individual can try to get a slice of the pie? You know, is there some good behind his madness, or is this all selfish to help the club? It's really interesting to think about. And this is crazy though, but like you said, it would make sense. And in a way, I kind of think Jared Tate, from the creator of Digibyte, because he's been talking a lot about, he's been very vocal about a lot of this on Twitter. In a way, I'm wondering if he was just kind of butthurt that they didn't pick Digibyte instead of Doge. Like, why didn't you take over my community? Why didn't you take over my coin?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just speculating, and that's what we're doing, is sharing opinions. But what are your thoughts over there, Mr. Claudio?
What with
just this whole Dogecoin situation in particular?
And why did he choose Doge? Yeah, I think it's just because he's probably done some research. That's it. Just goes back to what we were saying at the beginning with the energy consumption. For sure, he's done research on crypto, right? And he's likely checked out the top 10, top 20 projects on CoinMarketCap. And even if he didn't himself, other people must have told him, right? He's definitely got somebody who gave him some information to go off. So based on that, I think he just found it funny, and he's using the fact that it's funny to promote it, right? He's been making, if you go back to his earlier tweets when he started talking about Doge, I believe the very first tweet about Doge was actually a pair of boxers, and it showed the logo of the dog.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like a sign that he's going to talk about Doge, and people already started pumping it. So it's like, it's all a joke to him if you look at it from a psychological point of view. I just don't know if it's to do with the money, to be honest. He's just too rich to actually care about the money that much. Of course, he cares about the money, but it's not that he'd want more money. I think it's more about, like, let me have some fun on Twitter, right? That kind of mentality, in my opinion. And what's interesting now,
if you look at the psychology of it, I think that's what's interesting.
Exactly. And if you look at it, like, to talk about the psychology, if you look at the other token that we've got now, Shiba Inu, everyone's shilling that. Like on BitBoy's channel, on every live stream, you see.
Well, it's all the dog. It's not just Shiba now. It's like a whole freaking pack of dog coins.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
And I think they're hoping that maybe Elon is going to mention one of these. I think they're betting it on that. They're thinking if Elon likes Dogecoin so much, maybe he's going to like other coins, right, which have a dog meme. I don't know.
It's cool though that it's a big win for Dogecoin in a lot of ways, and now they're getting added to Coinbase. So I mean, with all that being said, I mean, I definitely feel like there's still some more upside for Doge. I wouldn't say overnight, but I definitely see some more upside happening with Doge. I don't think that the dog run is over. Now, some of the other coins, I mean, it just all really depends. Now, the only problem I have with, and it's their choice, and it's my choice to have a problem with it, is the people that are doing the Shiba and all the different dog coins are just purely speculating so they can get more fiat money. They have no concern or care about cryptocurrency or the technology. Half these people think they own shares of Shiba. Like Shiba's like a company or something, and they're investing in it. It's kind of crazy.
I just looked at your live chat here, Rice, and Lisa Davis is saying, isn't his kid named X? No, I think his kid is named AI. He's actually given him that name.
It's got a weird name, that's for sure. Yeah. Sean's given his kids equally weird names, though, too. Sean's kind of been inspired by Frank Zappa. He's got like a child named Moonbeam.
No. My kids after Star Trek.
I wonder if that's going to pump the price of Moonbeam then. Because there's a project called Moonbeam.
That would be hilarious.
I
almost choked on that one.
Worf. And Worf. My wife was like, or my ex-wife was like, no. So I named him Alexander after Worf's son, right? And then I met Michael Torn, and I was like, I want to name my kid Worf, and my ex-wife wouldn't let me. And the dude straight looked at me and was like, your ex-wife was right. I was like, all right, man.
What do you guys think about this Binance news? I'll start with you, Claudio.
I actually heard of this today when my friend told me about it. I went to visit a friend today, and he said, have you heard of Binance? Have you heard what happened? The DOJ are investigating. I was like, no, I didn't know. So it's new to me, to be honest. I just don't exactly know why they've done that, to be honest. Let's look at the news.
They're facing federal investigation by the U.S. Department of Justice and the IRS. Officials specializing in tax and money laundering investigations are probing the world's largest crypto exchange. Binance operates a sprawling global empire of crypto trading, including derivatives, which are essentially barred from the U.S. market. Binance has attempted to project itself as above board through recent regulatory hires, including former U.S. Senator Max Baucus. Former banking regulator Brian Brooks was installed as CEO's Binance U.S. affiliate last month. And an interesting thing about Brian Brooks, he's the former comptroller of the United States under Steve Mnuchin. He was also the legal head at Coinbase. When he stepped down from Coinbase, he worked for the Treasury, and then now has some affiliations with Binance. Binance is they were based in China, but they're now based in the Cayman Islands.
Yeah. Is that where Binance US is based, in Cayman Islands?
I think Binance US is based in the US, but see, the big problem I think too that Binance has done to themselves is, like, when it just listed there at the derivatives trading, they have Binance, the actual exchange. And if you're a US citizen, you're not supposed to be able to use Binance. That's why they have Binance US. But I believe that a simple VPN will kind of get you around that.
No.
And I know that
it will not.
Well, then that's just recently been done because BitMEX was having that same problem because BitMEX, the VPN was allowing people to get through.
Oh, no, I can get through. You can get through, but you can't withdraw money without full KYC.
No, you could, with some of these exchanges, you can withdraw a certain amount.
I can't use Binance US.
Okay.
Because I'm in Texas. There's like 4 states that you can't use it.
New York,
now,
Texas.
I can't log in because they know I'm in Texas. So I used my VPN. I went into my account. I did all that. But then I was like, haha, I've outsmarted them. But no, because you have to send a picture of your driver's license and a proof of residence. And as soon as they see that, they're like, no, this is a Texas address. No, you can't. So you have to pass a human test. So so they're covering it. I think that this is a kind of a big deal. I think this is a litmus test, the first thing that's going to happen. I think it's like the Me Too movement. It's like cancel culture. They're going to find something. I mean, it's crypto and it's Binance. Yeah, so they're going to go back, like going back on your tweets for 5 years and 10 years. You did something when you were drunk 4 years ago and said something that's going to be offensive.
Well, not only that, but like you could say something that's going to get you that can be held against you. Like in a case with Justin Sun, he said so many things that's going to get him for security violations.
So, and that's going to they're going to find something that is going to be, plus it's crypto. So of course it's used for money laundering. Of course it was years ago when Binance was around years ago, and when it was the Wild West, of course. Yeah. So this is going to be a big test of how much power the U.S. has over international crypto, other places stuff. Will it just be like you can't use Binance in the U.S.?
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen.
Or will it be, oh, we're so angry and the international community is going to come down and you can't use it in Europe and any ally of the U.S. and this and that. I mean, I don't know how far they're going to push it. Are the the legacy financial systems behind it? Is this a way they're going to try to hurt crypto in some way? There's a lot of things that could happen here. Dude, you need to do the one. Put that one up there.
Which one? The one.
Miss AJ.
Fiat. I did put that up there. Miss AJ. Miss AJ is good people. She's a kick-ass Australian lady.
That's awesome.
She comes from the land down under.
Australian accents are the best, man.
Never been there. It's on the to-do list.
Yeah, I've never been there either. When I worked for Microsoft, or for Xbox, this Australian lady called in. I was like, man, your accent's so cool. I was like, here, I'm gonna give you this free. Hey, I'm gonna give you this game. And I'm gonna give you just like, if you stay on the line, I'll just give you stuff. Just keep talking. It's cool.
You wanted to hear the accent, didn't you?
I was like, oh man, I'm gonna give you $10 for that. That's cool.
That's hilarious. Well, I'll tell you what. I want to ask you before I pass it over to Claudio with Polkadot. Sean, what do you know about Polkadot?
Well, my buddy Nicky Maple is so into Polkadot, it is ridiculous. We're talking about Polkadot.
Does he wear
the
Polkadot
maxi.
clothes or anything like that?
No, but he would, man. See, that's the thing. I would wear Polkadot clothes.
Me too.
And he would be much more subdued. I think Polkadot's really, really cool. I haven't done a ton of investigating to it because honestly, everything I want to know about, I can just ask Nick. But I think it's going to be a major player. You know, I think I'm bullish on it, but that's about it when it comes to Polkadot. Obviously, Kryptos is going to go off now.
Well, now, okay,
yeah.
Before we do, I mean, for anybody who's watching it, I mean, Polkadot is a cryptocurrency and blockchain that's basically being built to be competitive to what Ethereum is doing. They're also doing things to work alongside in parallel at the same time. So it's not as if it's just trying to be like a killer. So it's trying to be a be all end all, but also working with people at the same time. So they're being very team oriented, which I do like.
Which in all honesty is the real way to be.
Now, Claudio, the only thing I'll ask you later on in your own personal time is try to look at the technology behind Nexus and the way Nexus is built and see how it compares with what you see with Polkadot. And the unfortunate thing that I mentioned on the BitBoy show with Nexus is they have a different mindset that they're coming from, and they don't have the VC funding. They don't have a budget for marketing and things to that effect, like
no
Polkadot.
treasury. No treasury.
Right, no. They don't have anything like that set up to that effect that was giving them that availability. So, but the idea of the parachains and things like that, there's a lot of similarities in what Nexus has built years ago. And speaking of Jeff Garzik, he's one of the, I believe it's Garzik. He's one of the advisors on the team. So, and the founder, the creator of that token, his father was one of the founders of SpaceX with Elon Musk, to kind of circle everything back around. So they are going to be launching satellites and low Earth orbit satellites and have ground communications and create a mesh network, a truly off-world, decentralized, uncensorable internet, in addition to all the other technology. But I would just love to get your opinion sometime, even off the, just us having a personal conversation of a comparison, now that you have a really good understanding of.
You actually gave me an idea to do a review video, not a review, but more of a comparison video between Nexus and Polkadot. So yeah, I'll definitely need to do. I've actually heard of Nexus before, but I've never researched that. It's just one of those, that you hear from other people.
I mean, as far as the scaling issue, and if you understand some of the stuff goes beyond my understanding. I know you've had Satoshi on your show. He does a pretty good job of trying to dumb it down, but from a technical standpoint, I mean, he's had Colin, the creator from Nexus, on the show as well. Ivan on Tech has had him on before. It's just they're not getting the attention of something like Polkadot. So, and then in that sense, this is the sad thing. And it sucks to even say this, but it doesn't. People don't care about technology when it really comes down to it. That's why something like Tron was successful, because of their marketing efforts, because there's nothing to Tron. There's nothing special. There's nothing that separates Tron.
It's all hype, isn't it?
Totally. Yeah. So it sucks. Now, it's great to see a platform like Polkadot, which actually has value doing something, as opposed to something like Tron. So
yeah.
What is Polkadot to you?
Yeah. So Polkadot is kind of like think of it as the freedom in terms of the interoperability and freedom for anything that you could think of as ICOs before, or even IDOs or IEOs, right? And why am I saying that? Well, it's because you're no longer going to lose your funds to get that shitcoin, if you want to call it that, right? Because you're basically taking a huge risk. Now you're going to take a huge risk, but even though you're taking that risk, you're going to get your money back at the end of a specific period. And in this case, we're talking about the parachain auctions, which is part of the infrastructure of the Polkadot ecosystem. So I think I should probably summarize Polkadot a little bit just to make more sense for some people. So I'm going to start with Polkadot is an ecosystem of interoperability. Okay, so what does it mean? Well, internally, Polkadot has its own scalable ecosystem, which is secure, which offers high transaction throughput and all this sort of stuff, right? Nothing special if you think about it, right? But the special part comes that the Polkadot ecosystem can connect to all these native blockchains. So you've got Ethereum, Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, etc., Zcash, Monero. Think of all of these, right? They're all able to connect to Polkadot and interoperate with all these different blockchains that are going to be within Polkadot, called the parachains. Okay, so what's cool about this? Well, in order to get access to these parachains, you need to have a bridge, because you can't just bring Bitcoin from the Bitcoin network over to Polkadot. You need to have a tokenized version of Bitcoin on Polkadot. So
Like
there are various projects.
Are you talking? We're talking about like wrapped cryptos, like the wrapped Bitcoin.
Exactly. That's it. Yeah. So in order to do that, you need bridges, right? So there are lots of these bridges that are trying to bring NFTs over. They are trying to bring Bitcoin over, Ethereum and other ones, right? So what they're going to do is basically bring all these different dApps from Ethereum, from from Cardano in the future. Even from, they're actually going to work with Cardano. They did say that they've got a bridge going at the moment which is going to help bring Cardano dApps from Cardano, when they're going to develop in the future, over to Polkadot. So it just shows you that their vision is more about working together and not trying to kill anyone, right? So I really liked your point there when you said it's not an Ethereum killer, even though some people say that it's more about working together and trying to do something better than Ethereum and trying to complement that. What Ethereum is missing now. With Ethereum 2.0, things could change. I'm not saying that anything is possible, but yeah, this is definitely great. So now let's talk a little bit about the parachains, if I can. So in order to actually become a parachain, there are two different options. So the first option is you could be a common good parachain, and there will be a number of them, which means that you will need to connect as a parachain for free in order to help support the network. So Polkadot are basically going to need you. So we're going to have a bridge, which is called Polka BTC. It doesn't actually have any token. You cannot invest in it, but it's going to be used solely for the purpose to help the ecosystem, to bring Bitcoin over to Polkadot. You're going to be able to mint Polka BTC. And then we've got other projects which are actually purchasable, like Chainx. They're also trying to build a bridge to bring Bitcoin over to Polkadot, right? So then there's Darwinia Network, which is also a bridge trying to bring Ethereum and NFTs over to Polkadot. And what's cool about these parachains that we're going to have is that they're going to hold like token sales or crowd sales, right? But in order for you to participate in these crowd sales, you don't actually pay with your DOT and never see them again. You actually lock your DOT in your wallet. So you'll see your DOT in your wallet in a frozen state. You will not be able to transfer it out. And in return, you're going to get a specific token from that specific project who's trying to bond as a parachain. So you're literally putting weight on the network. And by putting that weight, you're actually helping a specific project, or you're giving them an opportunity to win the auction. And by winning the auction, they're going to bond as a parachain. Think of a parachain like as a side chain, because Polkadot is the main chain and all these parachains are all connected to Polkadot. So this is just me trying to explain it in a really simple way. Of course, it does get more technical than that.
And what I pulled up was basically what is Polkadot from Kraken, because Kraken as an exchange, they've got a really good education tools, and it lists the relay chain, which is the main Polkadot chain, and then the parachains, which are custom blockchains that use the relay chains computing resources to confirm, and then the bridges, which is what you went into explaining, and then it tries to give a little bit more information about the validator nodes, the nominators, the collectors, the fishermen, for people who are unfamiliar with any of this, and then it goes into the Polkadot's governance. So I was just kind of doing a little bit of screen sharing of something that would parallel with what you were talking about too.
What's the real difference between Polkadot and just an oracle?
Well, oracles need to work with Polkadot, or better said, Polkadot need oracles for the data input or for other types of data. Or it could be decentralized applications. It could be anything that may require an oracle. So Polkadot need those oracles to work with them. That's why we've got Chainlink working with Polkadot, and not only Chainlink, but there will be other oracles as well.
Aren't there oracles that are being built just specifically for the ecosystem for DOT?
Yeah, there's one called Kylan Network.
And for people that are interested in getting involved in some of these projects and locking up their DOT, what are some of the on-ramps within the ecosystem that allow for like these IDO kind of things?
Do you mean like if you're interested to set up a project, create a token?
Well, no, if you're interested in like investing or getting involved in supporting other projects, what is the name of that? It's like an exchange, sort of. I can't remember the name.
Within the Polkadot ecosystem, you mean?
Yeah.
It would be just the IPOs, initial parachain offerings, or the crowd sales. That's what they're known as. So the IPOs are how you would actually take part. So to talk about that, in order to take part in an IPO, you will need to wait for the parachain auctions to go live. They haven't announced a specific date, but now we need to kind of expand on that.
What is the name of that platform, though, real quick? Like, there's a name of a platform that people can go on and look at the various projects and things like that. What is that called?
I'm not sure what you mean. Sorry, which? To be able to see which parachains are on Polkadot.
Yeah.
They would need to go to Polka Project. If you go to polkaproject.com, you can find the list of all the different projects building on Polkadot, but some of them are saying that they're building on Polkadot, but they're not. So there you'll need to filter by substrate based.
Okay.
So there's actually, Polkadot uses a framework called Substrate, which allows you to build a blockchain, a configurable blockchain. So in order to build a blockchain there, you don't actually need to become a parachain. That's the beauty of Polkadot. You can be your own independent blockchain within the Polkadot ecosystem, but you're not taking advantage, I should say, of the security and the scalability of the Polkadot ecosystem because you're not a parachain. You're not connecting to the relay chain of Polkadot. So you can build an independent one. There is actually one at the moment called Chainx, which is an independent blockchain. They're actually the first one to have built on Substrate. So they're also going to become a parachain. They're a bridge, but they're also going to become a parachain because they want to take advantage of all the benefits that Polkadot has to offer. So yeah, polkaproject.com is my source of information. That's where I do all my research from when it comes to Polkadot Eco. But like I tell people, you have to be careful because it is an open source website. People can add projects there and say, we're working with Polkadot. There was actually some jokes there as well. Ones like called Polka Train or Polka Rocket or something. I mean, these are all jokes just trying to write off the Polkadot hype. So be careful. Always use the substrate-based ones. Because if they're substrate-based, you can prove that they're substrate-based. You can basically go into the code on GitHub, and you can see that they're actually building with Rust, which is the programming language which the framework is using.
Okay.
It's trickier if you're not a developer or if you don't have a technical background. But I mean, if you can definitely ask a friend maybe who's a developer and kind of try and do more research on that aspect just to make sure that that is definitely a legit project. But yeah, substrate based is the ones that I look at most of the time. It's not that I'm keeping my eyes closed for anything else that's building on it, but normally if it's not substrate based, it's usually a bit shady and you're just trying to ride the hype.
Okay, I got you. Cool.
Especially if they're creating a token, right? I mean, if you can see there are different tabs there, like tooling, infrastructure. So some of them don't actually need a token, so that's fine. But there are some that will actually create a token, generate a token sale on Ethereum. But they're saying that they're working with Polkadot. So why are you doing it on Ethereum if you're working with Polkadot? Why not just go straight with it for a parachain spot and try to win it the fair way?
Are parachains kind of comparable and similar to the idea of a side chain?
Exactly.
It's just a lot of side chains as opposed to just like
Exactly. But to kind of talk a bit about that, because there are two different ecosystems. So there's the Polkadot ecosystem, which is the one that everyone knows about, but then there's Kusama, which is like the wild cousin of Polkadot.
It's kind of a test net, right?
It started off as a testnet narrative, but it's a lot more than that. And that's where a lot of people, including myself, have missed out from early on. Somebody in my community told me about Kusama back when it was $1. And I ignored them. I said, no, I've seen what Cardano are doing. Cardano are moving extremely slow with the development. I don't have any faith that a testnet is going to do well. This guy invested heavily and is now a multimillionaire.
Yeah, the testnet is worth more than the actual Polkadot coin, the Kusama coin.
Exactly.
It's crazy. It's crazy to think about that.
Because the supply is much lower as well. So to talk about that, so basically Kusama is a test network. That's where they're going to be deploying a lot of these tests. potential parachains or projects, but it is also going to grow as an independent ecosystem. So that's something to keep in mind. There will be projects that will only deploy on Kusama, but never on Polkadot, because it's cheaper and because they don't see any need to go to Polkadot if they can achieve what they want on Kusama. So that's where the value of Kusama comes into play. And that's where you're just constantly seeing the price go up and barely pulling back.
It's interesting. It's interesting how the test, and it'd be crazy if the test, like, if it ends up becoming the mainly more utilized than Polkadot itself. That would be an interesting development. It would be like Litecoin flipping Bitcoin.
Exactly. And what Gavin Wood's vision is that he's going to make Kusama interoperable with Polkadot. So just imagine the huge level of interoperability that you're going to have there. So on Kusama, you can connect Bitcoin, Ethereum, and everything else, just like with Polkadot. But now we're going to have independent projects building on Kusama only, which will be able to connect to Polkadot at some point in the future in between each other. So that's going to be awesome. It's like just the value here is just, it's insane. And to be honest, you may argue that they're moving slow with development because they were meant to launch these parachain auctions in Q1 of this year. And we're now in Q2, but I think they were just waiting for Polkadot Decoded, which is the event that's coming up on the 19th of May.
And that is a good way to segue into Polkadot Decoded. Because I'm going to be trying my best to watch all of it. It's coming up. Is it this Wednesday and Thursday?
Yeah, Wednesday and Thursday. Yeah. I've registered as well. I can't wait, especially.
And it's going to be absolutely free, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so anybody who wants to register can go over to decoded.polkadot.network and go and register. And I would imagine, and I've been telling people this, not as financial advice, but I think there's going to be a release of a lot of news and a lot of details, and I think we're going to see an insane run on Polkadot.
Yeah, especially with these parachain auctions. I mean, people want to take part. You've seen the ICO craze in 2018. You've been in the space since then, right? So we're going to see this, I think, with Polkadot even more multiplied, only because people are going to lock up their DOT and they're going to lock up their Kusama and they're going to get it back at the end of this lease. Right. So that's something to keep in mind. That probably one point that I didn't really cover is with regards to the parachain leases. So a parachain is not permanent. On Kusama, you can only have it for up to 1 year, and then it expires, and then you need to take part in another crowd sale, or you can pay up, you can stock up a certain amount of Kusama or a certain amount of DOT to extend that lease, right?
Okay.
Because you've already had a parachain, you've got a benefit.
When you look at Polkadot, especially,
that's what I was going to ask you before we get into this, Sean. Did you have any questions before we talk about the conference?
Yeah. Polkadot it's really huge, and with everything I think in the past this year, everything I can think of. No, it's everything. I'll make it just say everything. Everything that's been successful, that's growing, that's a focus of crypto, is interoperability and inclusivity. There's literally nothing that pushes maximalism. I think this is just such a good example of shitcoin 2021. You know what I mean? How it's the antithesis of what the whole attitude is with maximalism.
Yeah.
It really it's like new versus old. It's life versus death. So I think it really, I think maximalists are terrible for the space in general. And you're talking about, I was wondering because Ken said that shitcoin was free, but now I've been hearing that it's $5.
Well, it's I think it's a $5 suggested donation, but I think you can get in for free because Ken has gotten into so many conferences for free. He would be a hypocrite for not letting somebody else in one of his conferences for free, or a conference that he's involved in.
Yeah.
But you make some good points, and I've said for quite some time that the future of cryptocurrency is really going to depend on a lot of cross-chain and interoperability. Mm-hmm. The maximalist approach is not going to be good because there's going to be a use case for a lot of different things. And also it just gives people more choices, and people should have that freedom of choice.
Yeah.
That's really important for that.
True. And it's not, I don't know, man, we all say there's no competition. Everyone says that, and it is bullshit. Being in the business side of the space, lots of projects that we work with, like, oh, we don't hate Litecoin. They hate Litecoin. When we're behind the scenes, it's like, no, do you want to beat the shit out of Litecoin? Of course, but they don't want to piss off their community.
Right.
That they don't be, because there is a competition. Like, that's why Discover isn't accepted anywhere. Because Visa and MasterCard don't want any competition. If they could screw each other, they would, but they're too big. They can't. But there's not going to be a third option. There really isn't. There's American Express, but barely. There's Discover, not even barely. There's Diners Club, not really. So for decades, no one's been able to break into that. And that is how, when we get to a certain level, that's how cryptocurrencies are probably going to be. There will be competition, but there doesn't need to be competition now. We're building it.
Right.
We're so at the bottom of creating the beginning infrastructure. And when it comes to consumers, choice is the best thing that there is.
Couldn't agree more. Okay, so Mr. Claudio, what are you kind of like thinking that is going to be some of the things that people are anticipating is going to be taking place at the Polkadot Decoded 2021? And I got roughly about 15 minutes or so, and I've got to get ready because I have some plans this evening, and I have a hard limit. I apologize.
Sure, no worries.
I have plans too. I have a life.
First of all, I just want to say thank you to the over 90 people that are watching this live stream. Quite a lot of people. I've shared this on my channel as well, so I think some people from my community are also watching. And hello to Litecoin Lisa. I didn't realize she's in the live chat.
Yeah, she's good people, and you guys should definitely connect. And I'm also live streaming on Float as well. I'm gonna start doing more consistent dual live streams on Odyssey, because I've done some Odyssey YouTube dual streams. I meant to set something up for Odyssey for this, but we're streaming on Float as well. FLOTE.app. It's an awesome platform. If you have never heard of it, you should check it out. Yeah, no, Lisa's cool. I've had her on my channel, and I was also on her channel. I know she had some issues with her YouTube channel, but just did not derive off the topic. So yeah, with Polkadot Decoded, I think we're going to get information on when the parachain auctions are actually going to start, which is very important, right? That's what everyone's been waiting for, to get the Kusama and the DOT ready, because people have unbounded their staked Kusama from the nodes. They actually had to wait 7 days to unbound. So Dan Reeser, who is the vice president of Karura, has actually said, and Akala, he's actually said that people should unbound their KSM. So why would he say it if he didn't think that the parachain auctions are going to launch, right? And I had an interview with him on my channel, and he said, yeah, we want people to know 7 days in advance, or maybe even 14 days in advance, to give them enough time to
There has been a FUD about the parachains.
Exactly.
Yeah, there has been a lot. I've noticed that.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, I think this time is the real deal. And I think they're going to announce it during the Polkadot Decoded event. They're going to give us the exact date of when they're going to launch. Again, not 100% sure, but this is just my assumption.
Right.
He's been tweeting and everything he's been saying. So yeah, aside from that, we're going to hear a lot of stuff about different projects building on Polkadot, and the group of people that are part of the Polkadot DAO, which is the decentralized autonomous organization. It's basically a group of individuals that are working closely together to build a better ecosystem of Polkadot. We have projects like Akala Network, which is probably the most solid one. I think they're going to win the very first parachain auction. It's the largest DeFi on Polkadot, and also on Kusama. They've got like a test network or a sister network on Kusama called Karura, but the DApp looks exactly the same as the one on Polkadot, which is Akala. I've done a tutorial on that on my channel if you want to check it out, if you want to search for Akala tutorial. And you can basically take loans in crypto, right? You need to use Bitcoin as collateral or DOT as collateral, but you can get loans in crypto in like 5 minutes.
This one right here?
That's how cool it is. That's the one, yeah.
Okay, and it's on Polkadot.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. It's on testnet at the moment, obviously, until they connect as a parachain. But yeah, I mean, you can do it. Like, their testnet works really, really well. You can basically go to their Discord, claim some testnet tokens, and then you can start playing around with it, get loans, do the swaps. basically just try everything that they've got to offer, even staking, liquidity, supplying liquidity to the pools and so on. So it's like a full-on DeFi dApp built for that. They've been building since last year, so it's been quite some time now.
Very
and
cool.
yeah, I think we're going to find out a lot more about how these projects are working together and what they're trying to do, and is basically just to open people's eyes into doing more research and possibly investing, because at the end of the day, even though it's not financial advice or anything, people are going to be investing, right? And again, they're not actually investing. If they're taking part in these part-chain auctions, they're not actually investing in the sense that they're going to lose their funds, but they're going to lose the opportunity to sell their DOT or their Kusama if the price was to go up, right? Because it's locked up. Now you cannot transfer it for this certain period of time. So like I said, 1 year for Kusama, 2 years for Polkadot is the max, depending on the lease period that the individual projects want to have.
Have you looked at this though? Like I'm looking through day 2 on the 20th, and they have the main stage on day 1. They've got the main stage, and that was it, which is cool.
No, you need to go down, and you need
to. It's on the 20th. They got the side stages, and they got 1, 2, and 3. It's like insane. They have more speakers in this one day than I've seen speaking at all the conferences I've been at.
Yeah, it's a huge event. It's a really big event. Yeah.
That is awesome. I mean, that's really cool. I mean, that it's going to be like that in depth.
Exactly, and I'm really looking for, especially because I know a lot of these projects. I know some of the people working for these projects, so it's awesome to finally see them. Like I'm also an ambassador for Darwinian Network, and you can see there Bree Yin. She's from Darwinian Network. I've had her on my channel recently as well. She's spoken about that. They're going to be a bridge, bridging Ethereum and NFTs over to Polkadot.
Okay.
So yeah, they're definitely interesting ones. Also Polkadex, which I've spoken about. You can see Gotham there, Gotham J. He's from Polkadex. He's going to speak about that. That's basically the first substrate-based DEX with an order book. There is no other one right now. Of course, there's going to be more building, but right now they're the only ones that are building that. So it's awesome.
What is this Polka Foundry thing that I've heard about? Do you know anything about the Foundry?
No.
Okay.
No.
It's something I had heard about, and I saw the kind of like Pokemon, but Pokemons.
Yeah, I've heard about that, but I think it's a bit shady. To be honest, I'm staying away from those.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, Plasm, another solid project. You can see Sora Watanabe is going to speak for that. They've actually had a lock drop. So what they're doing is they launched on Ethereum. But what they did is they didn't actually take your ETH. They're locking your ETH. So people that have taken part in that token sale, which they've held last year, are actually going to get their ETH back at the period of when their lockup ends, because you could actually choose within the app how long you want to lock up that ETH for. And of course, the longer you lock up that ETH and the more ETH you put in, the more Plasm you get. So their idea was pretty cool, right? Because they're not actually taking your funds. They just want to see people participating pretty much. They're giving you free tokens at the end of the day.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Well,
dude.
I was the first person to say hi to Litecoin, Lisa. And I'm the only one that has not been on her channel or had her on mine. But then
maybe you need to change that, you think?
We were supposed to actually hang out 2 years ago. And she didn't come to Austin to this one party. And then the next day, I didn't feel good, so I didn't go to the big meetup out the Wild West one. I didn't go to that one, so
cool. We don't have to talk about this, dudes. It's all good. Hey, so before we wrap up, Claudio, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. I know that I've scheduled to come on your channel in the future. So when that happens, I'll let people who are watching this know. But I definitely want people to go check out not only yours and Sean's channel, but I guess what I would like to do is give you an opportunity here to kind of give like your final thoughts and anything that you would like to let people know about how they can find you and your final thoughts with today's live stream.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much for having me. Yeah, so you can find me on my YouTube channel, Kryptos Chain. I'm also on Library TV, like Rice, with the exact same tag at Kryptos Chain. I don't have that many followers there, unfortunately, only like 412 or so. Maybe because I don't do a good job at advertising that Library TV channel, but I really think I should, or Odyssey, because they've migrated to that now. So yeah, you can find me there. I'm mostly on YouTube, also on Telegram, Kryptos Chain _community. I've got my own community, almost 500 members there, all helpful people trying to help each other. We share ideas, we share projects. We try not to share scams, but sometimes those step in as well. You know how it is. People want to ride the hype, to be honest, and it is what it is. I can understand them. Everyone wants to make a quick buck at the end of the day, but I think we need to find that balance between making a quick buck with the hype and using the tech as well, and thinking about, you know, what should we actually consider before we invest our hard-earned money. Do we want to ride that hype and then get wrecked, or do we want to consider tech too and look at that? So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and I definitely encourage people to go check your YouTube channel out. And I think I got links for your Telegram or for your Twitter account as well down below in the video description. Well, thank you, man. Thanks for joining us, man. I'll be in touch, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your night. I know it's probably like 11, going on 11:30 for you.
It is, yeah. No, it's 20 past 12 now.
Oh, 20, okay. Yeah, that's right. You're 7 hours ahead of where I'm at. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, thank you again. I appreciate it. I look forward to our next conversation together. And then if you need to connect with Sean, you know, I can definitely help you do that as well.
For sure. Thank you very much.
Much love, brother. All right, my friend. What's going on?
Oh, a lot, my friend.
A lot?
Yeah.
Well, can we summarize it?
Yeah, we're making an announcement right now. Hold on.
Or I can't see nothing. Hold on.
I know I'm watching a commercial about shaving my balls on your channel, trying to get to the. There we go.
I can't see nothing. Hold on.
I know I'm watching a commercial about shaving my balls. Okay, I posted it. So trying to get to the. Wow, a lot of people.
What are you doing?
I am making an announcement. I went to your channel. I had to go to the chat because I can't go to the chat here like you can. I have to go to the actual stream to chat.
Oh, okay.
So I had to pull up your thing, watch a commercial.
Well, before you do your announcement, do you have some sort of, what was the deal with your shirt thing you said? Are you wearing a special shirt or something?
Oh, yeah, I got a brand new AC/DC vintage shirt, man.
The new AC/DC shirt? Okay. It was just, you said something about a new old shirt. So it's old
shirt. It's
okay.
High voltage.
High voltage.
Yeah. High voltage. So I am making an announcement.
Wow.
Coming out. Literally, y'all are getting it about 2 hours before everyone else is. Brand new project. That is crazy, chaotic. If you think of it, you think of Bozak. Crazy, chaotic, goofy, but it is intelligent and based with some smart tech behind it. What is it? Welcome to the Bandemic. Gonna make them bands. This is Bands Coin, which I am part of. You can go to Bandemic Coin. Do you know what bands are? We know what the Bandemic is?
I mean, are we talking about like bandanas? Or are we talking about like bands that make them dance, yo?
Yeah. So
or are we Kluge?
In hip hop culture,
I think
if you're up on the current things, like I am with the kids.
Band that make her dance. We're talking about those rubber bands that wrap around them.
Those are the bands. That's the coin.
Blue Benjis.
Those are that's the coin bands. The Bandemic it's really big in hip hop, the community where people have taken their government checks, stimulus checks,
bands that make
invested in crypto, invested it in other things, and have made a buttload of money. So they've made the bands. It's been a Bandemic because they've taken that stimulus money and just thrown it into investing. Have made tons of money on it.
What is this URL?
It is bandemiccoin.com.
What is your involvement?
I am close friends with the creators, and I'm going to be doing promoting it. We're part of the team.
Okay, so it's being built on Binance, which is
be built on Binance. Yeah, there's a lot of smart tech behind it, which
I don't call that smart tech, but
the liquidity. We're issuing a buttload of coins. When I say buttload, I mean maybe more coins than have ever been issued. But
more than Doge,
more than any that have ever been issued.
Right? Why would you want to issue more tokens?
Bryce,
I'm trying.
I'll tell you. So it's dope. I said chaos and fun.
Who's the creator?
Completely community told burning coins. We'll put it out on Twitter. How many you want us to burn? Trillion? 2 trillion?
Trilio. Trilly.
Boom. We're burning them.
Trill.
Everything is
for real.
Transparent. The wallet's transparent. Everything. You'll see it, dude. We'll burn shit like crazy. We'll just throw it on the fire.
We don't need no water. Let the motherfucker burn.
Yes. So that
bands that make a dance.
Bandemic and bands were the announcement's coming like in 2 hours, but I want to tell everybody here first.
Okay. I mean, I appreciate you doing that. I'm just like really still confused about everything, but I will definitely try to.
Yeah, we can go to the site, read the white paper. White paper's good. Read the white paper.
Get a better comprehension. I just don't like this Binance Smart Chain bullshit. But
you don't like Binance Smart Chain?
I know I'm not a fan of centralization, especially in those aspects. And I'm not a fan of Binance, and I'm not a fan of Binance Smart Chain.
You don't like chains?
I don't like centralization. That's the reason why.
That's the one thing.
The reason why they have a lot of throughput and a lot of the speed that they have is because they've given up the decentralization by having centralization. Now, have other cryptocurrency projects like Ethereum become more centralized, they could solve a lot of their scaling issues. And the problem is being decentralized and doing the scaling.
When it comes to adoption, dude, Ethereum is fucking.
Should have built it on Polkadot or Nexus.
Which would be cheaper. Which on Nexus though wouldn't be. I mean, it's like you said, there's no
fees.
A lot of people don't know.
I get it, dude. I get it. I'm just voicing my opinion.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it a little bit more. I do like.
No, I get emotional about Ethereum because I think Ethereum's holding crypto back, man. With these fees, they piss me off.
A lot of things are holding crypto back. It's not just Ethereum. So,
also, I want to talk about the Musk thing. How this is the perfect example of why decentralization is important. He's not part of a project. He's not an integral part. He's not building anything. He didn't do anything in crypto, but just from talking about it, he's become a form of centralization.
Let me ask
you, he affected the market.
Could he not take over the project and essentially it turn it into something completely different?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, there is, it's kind of a double-edged sword. I mean, it's obviously something we'll continue our conversations about.
Mm-hmm.
I do have to get ready to bounce and get ready for my evening.
Yeah, me too. I have dates and stuff to do.
Well, I hope you do. Honestly,
no, I don't.
It'd be good for you.
Yeah, I know.
Well, man, don't do all this. We're gonna talk. I love you.
Love you too. Take care. It's good hanging out.
Make sure. Hey, you got any closing thoughts or anything you want to say?
Yeah, go subscribe to my channel, watch my stuff. Probably gonna do a news episode today, give away some crypto. So watch that.
Cool. And what me and you will be doing over the course. I'm not gonna commit to anything until after Miami, but what I would like to do is you've been kind of coming on regularly with these crypto roundtables, and I'd like to turn something into something regular that we can do on both of our channels. That's a little bit more fair instead of it like being all promoting my stuff at the beginning. So we'll talk more about that. And we'll probably end up doing another one of these more than likely, since we did it last week about the same time. We'll probably do next week at the same time, at least maybe the next 2 weeks, Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern time, if you're good for all that.
Cool. I'm good.
Okay, my friend.
Stuff to do, dates and stuff.
And stuff.
Hey, if I did have stuff, you're more important.
I am Rice. I am Rice. I am Rice.
Say red rum, dude. Say red rum.
Red rum. Red rum. Red rum. If this just happens to be your first time ever watching any of my videos, I do encourage you to check out and explore my channel. Make sure you're subscribed, smash that like button, and hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with my videos as they come out. Be sure you're following me on Odyssey.com, where I have backups of all of my videos and post up extra content. This is where you know you can find me just in case something ever happens to my YouTube channel. I would also like to encourage everyone to check out my Patreon channel. I have lots of free videos there, but if you decide to become a patron, you would get early access to videos, exclusive content, and it's a way to support the channel directly. Check out Rice Radio. If you want some rice on the go, we have select episodes from Rice TVX featured on Rice Radio, hosted on Anchor.fm, and available on every major podcasting platform. Make sure you're taking advantage of my partnership with Money Metals Exchange. Get your free half ounce of silver. All you need to do is go to moneymetals.com, be a first-time buyer, purchase $100 or more, and be sure you use the promo code RICE, R-I-C-E. You get that free half ounce of silver, and it's an additional way to support the channel as well.